is pushing the Israeli government and Hamas to negotiate a ceasefire and hostage agreement and end the war in Gaza. Israeli Foreign Minister Gideon Sa'ar said on Wednesday that his country was serious about reaching a deal with Hamas.
Hamas still holds 50 of our hostages in crew captivity. The war can end tomorrow if it releases them and lays down its arms.
President Trump said on Tuesday that Israel had accepted the conditions needed to finalize a 60-day ceasefire with Hamas. Trump said the pledge followed a long and productive meeting of his representatives with Israeli officials. Hamas said Wednesday it was studying new ceasefire offers it received from mediators Egypt and Qatar, but stressed it aimed to reach an agreement that would ensure an end to the war and an Israeli pullout from Gaza. Over to Iran, the Pentagon on Wednesday said it believes the American and Israeli strikes against Iran's nuclear facilities have delayed Tehran's nuclear program by as much as 2 years. Department of Defense spokesperson Sean Parnell said the U.S. Operation Midnight Hammer likely destroyed key underground enrichment facilities of Iran's Fordo complex. Parnell says all the intelligence they've seen suggests the facilities were completely obliterated. Daniel Monahan, NTD News.
The Pentagon says Iran's nuclear program has been set back up to 2 years. Joining us now to discuss this is retired U.S. Army Major General and former Congressman William Enyart. Good morning to you, or rather good afternoon to you. Could you talk to us about what is your perspective on this? How significant is a 2-year setback?
Well, it's hard to say at this point whether the 2 years is accurate or a shorter period or a longer period. These intelligence estimates are just that. They're estimates, and they're based on incomplete facts. So frankly, we don't know, and we don't know whether or not some of this enriched uranium was moved from the site. We do know that there was extensive damage done to the Iranian nuclear weapon sites, as well as to killing several of their nuclear scientists. So clearly it has been set back, but it remains to be determined for how long a period of time that actually will be delayed.
And General, what do we need to see in order for us to be sure how the damage is on those facilities?
Well, frankly, the only way that you can really tell that is to have boots on the ground. We discovered during the Iraq War that the battle damage assessments were far more optimistic than had actually happened. And certainly one air raid does not a victory make. There has been damage, we can tell that. But the only way that you can truly assess the nature and extent of the damage is to have physical inspections of those locations. Since Iran has withdrawn from the International Atomic Energy Agency agreement to have inspectors on the ground, it's unlikely that we're going to have any kind of assessment that gets to the bottom of the matter anytime soon.
And what are the factors, would you be able to say for sure, that could determine how quickly Iran can resume uranium enrichment activity if it chooses to do so?
Well, that's going to depend on the nature and the extent of the damage, as well as whether or not Iran removed any of that already enriched uranium from the nuclear sites, and the extent of damage to the Iranian physical plant. So it'll be difficult to tell, as I indicated, without physical inspections, so that it can be determined exactly what the resources that Iran still possesses.
And there are other narratives on this as well. For example, IAEA Director General Grossi said Iran could be enriching uranium again in a matter of months. Any thoughts you have on that?
Well, I think the truth of the matter probably lies somewhere between the IAEA's director's remarks and the Pentagon's remarks. It was interesting that the DIA, Defense Intelligence Agency estimate came out very shortly after was leaked. In fact, very shortly after the raid, indicating that they believe the weapons program had only been set back a matter of months. I suspect that was leaked in order to prevent the Trump administration from getting out a far more glowing estimate of the damage. In all likelihood, the truth of the matter lies somewhere in between the few months estimate and the couple of years estimate. But I really doubt that it goes anywhere beyond 2 years setback for the Iranians.
Also, General, what do you make of Iran's decision to suspend cooperation with the IAEA following the strike?
Well, I think that they are doing that in order to prevent a more accurate assessment of where their program is. And in all likelihood, they want to have secrecy to continue building their their nuclear program. If there are no inspectors on the ground, they certainly have a much better opportunity to keep all of those developments clandestine.
Okay, and the FBI as well is warning of Iran-linked cyber attacks following those airstrikes on Iranian nuclear sites. What is the threat level of Iranian cyber attacks on the U.S. in your view?
Well, I think that clearly there is a significant threat level, not only from Iran, but from certainly other actors, whether it be Russia or North Korea or the PRC. All of those have an interest in damaging our computer infrastructure and our cyber capabilities. So there is clearly a problem there, and it's been an ongoing problem. This is nothing new. We've had to face this, whether it be American hospitals protecting their records or American utilities protecting the water plants and the utility systems. So this is going to be an ongoing problem that we're going to be facing for decades.
And General, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I'll just get your thoughts on one more thing. How do Iranian cyber strategies compared to those used by other actors like China, for example? You also mentioned a couple of others. Do they prioritize different goals?
Well, I think they all prioritize the ability to get inside American cyber capabilities and damage those capabilities as much as possible. And certainly they will also get inside to peek and sneak, as we say, to see what they may be able to discover and how they can burrow into the systems to create havoc should they desire to do so.
Okay, General Enyart, thank you very much for your time today. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
And now House GOP representatives are holding a press conference after Trump's mega bill passes. Let's